What's going on, guys? Zenix back here with another top 6 of that episode of The Flash. So this episode we got a lot of alchemy stuff, and we finally got our first look at Savitar, so off to number 6. A new husk appears and a new meta is initiated by alchemy. That seems to be the trend because we got Shade this episode, a husk appeared. That happened with the rival, a new husk appeared. It just seems to be a common theme. But for some reason, it continues to puzzle Barry and Julian, because they're both pretty smart, so you would think they would figure that out. Number 5. Shade is a new meta who vibrates his molecules to appear like a shadow. So I'm pretty sure it was actually Harry who remembered from Earth 19 that there was a meta exactly the same as this one on his Earth, and that's how they pretty much figured out a way to stop him, which was by shining a lot of lights on him, which was kind of a weird way to stop him, and it was kind of anticlimactic because it was like building up the scene where Barry was not able to defeat him, and then they just shine a bunch of lights on him and he's done for. So I wish they could have maybe just elaborated that more and maybe done a better job at stopping the villain. But on to number 4. Wally has dreams and visions of being Kid Flash and fighting Rival alongside the Flash, but he's stuck in the pipeline cell and alchemy is not happy with this. So instead of persuading Wally to go see him, he starts psychically attacking him, kind of like what Grodd can do to Barry, except I feel like Grodd, he had to be somewhat in the vicinity of the person he was trying to attack, whereas Alchemy, he's like on the other side of the city and he's controlling people, telling them to come towards him. He also somehow seems to have a connection with Savitar because he said that thing at the end, which just sparked something even bigger. So yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly, but it seems like he has some pretty interesting psychic abilities, and it must all come from that Philosopher's Stone that he holds around and shoots bolts out of. Number 3. Julian apparently isn't present the day that Alchemy is summoning and psychically attacking Wally, which is definitely not a coincidence. We saw that Barry kind of invited him to the movie thing, the horror thing, but whenever he said that he had a girlfriend, he essentially couldn't go because he had plans with her. But the thing that I don't get is, how is it that the same day that so much happens with Alchemy, the Shade coming out of the movies, and then after Wally with all these visions, that he's away from work? It's too big of a coincidence to just pass up. Number 2. Cisco vibes a future version of Caitlin as Killer Frost in battle with him. So we see fully decked out Vibe costume, a fully decked out Killer Frost costume, and they look sick. I'm pretty sure we saw that in the behind the scenes video that the CW posted on their channel. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It just shows some of the costumes that they had. And it's really cool though how like they had that future sequence. And I'm sure that we'll get Vibe and Caitlin in their costumes by the end of the season probably, because I know Cisco's been working on the Vibe tech, and Caitlin, I think next episode there was a picture released and she's already in the Killer Frost outfit, it seems like. And so what happens between Caitlin and Cisco is that they're fighting, and Cisco's throwing these Vibe pulses at her, and then after she's throwing icicles at him, and then after his Vibe pulse shoots and hits her icicle, she throws another one, and it seems to have hurt him, because we can't really say he's dead unless we actually saw him die, and we technically didn't because that's what you have to assume with comic books. He's probably not dead in the future, but she does seem to go a little rogue. Number 1. When Alchemy says the words, you have no idea what's about to begin. There's like a mini earthquake, and also there is these flashes of blue light that only Barry can see, and so that's kind of weird because the visible eye couldn't see that. Like I don't think Joe and Wally could see the blue flashes, whereas Barry can see the blue flashes because he's part of the Speed Force and he can see things that move that quickly. So that's how he saw the other speedster. So all we saw were these blue blurs, and then after he was killing SWAT people, Savitar, and then we finally got to see his lightning, and then we finally got to see him actually take Barry by the throat, pin him up against the ceiling, and he finally introduced himself as Savitar, the god of speed. And then they like zoomed out the shot, and they saw how Barry was just stuck to the ceiling with nothing there. That just shows you how they couldn't see him whatsoever. Savitar, that is. So Savitar is like 100% CGI, and unlike last season where Zoom, there was actually a guy under Zoom's costume, and kind of like the Reverse Flash, there was someone in the costume. It seems like Savitar is kind of like almost machine, and he doesn't seem human. But I hope you guys enjoyed my top 6 Easter eggs of that episode of The Flash. If you guys did, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Spent